I'm gonna spot talk for just a second before we start. Hey there, folks. How you doing today? Welcome back to the channel. Please bear with any of the background racket that you're liable to hear throughout this production. We are on location where life happens, and sometimes there's stuff going on. Sometimes it's right there that you can hear on camera. So without further ado, let's get into this video. All right. Last January, we did a video titled Minimum Arsenal, What Every Prepared Household Should Have. Whether it was the ominous title, the subliminal messages of noncompliance, or Uncle Elmer's abrasive charm, I'm not sure. But as you can see here on the stat graph, something about that video triggered someone or something at the tube of you, and after a fairly successful debut, it was dead in the water within just a few hours. Well, I'm not one to leave well enough alone, so I did a little digging, and turns out that that was the first video I uploaded to the platform after getting out of YouTube jail for violating the terms of service with the original Bull Armory SAS video that I posted last November. So let that be a lesson to you, and think twice before referring to your barista's birthing parent by the wrong pronoun. So while that video may have found its way down the memory hole, the substance of the content remains valid, and we have just about doubled the subscriber count here on the channel since I made that one. So I decided that it's a worthy topic, and it's going to be what we talk about on this week's episode of Unfiltered Fans Only content. For those of you that are unfamiliar with our UFO content, this is something that we do here on the channel for the regular viewers of the channel who diligently follow all the garbage we produce and keep coming back for more. If this is your first time tuning in, we invite you to kick off your shoes and make yourself at home. If you are still watching after all that, thanks for sticking around, and congratulations for making it onto a government watch list. Without further ado, here's this week's list, the top 5 guns everyone should have. Let me preface it by saying this. I'm not exactly saying that every individual should have all 5 of these. It's kind of a segmented or a multi-layer list, if you will. The first 2 picks on the list, every able-bodied member of your group should certainly have. The remaining items on the list are guns that you need to have access to, like maybe there's 1 or 2 for the household. Okay, Rue, go ahead and get us started with number 1 on our list.
A 9mm handgun.
That's right. Number 1 on the list is a 9mm handgun. The good Lord said in the book of Luke that if you do not have a sword, you should sell your cloak and buy one. The modern equivalent to that sword is the 9mm handgun. Globally, the 9mm is the most common round in use. And while it has something of a checkered past in terms of stopping power, with the improvements that have been made in ammunition in the past 15 or 20 years, that's really not anywhere near the issue that it used to be. While I have my own personal opinions on which 9mm handgun you should carry, if you are interested, you could watch any one of these videos to kind of get an idea of what I think you should carry. But something like this Glock 19X, or this Taurus G3 would serve well. You'll notice both of these pistols are wearing weapon-mounted lights. Here on the Glock, we've got a Surefire X300U that is affixed to the rail, and while it is removable, it's kind of a pain in the neck to do so. This light is made to go with this handgun. Now here on our Taurus G3C, we have kind of a different light setup. You'll notice here, it's off to the side, it's kind of big, it's kind of clunky. Would you really want that on your pistol? Well, the nice thing about this setup is it's on this quick release mount that you can switch from a pistol to your rifle or to your shotgun. And while you can't really holster something like that if you're out on a patrol, or if you think you're going to be in a situation where you have a few seconds to get ready for it, you could easily take that light out of your pocket, stick it on your handgun, and get to work. This light is a Surefire G2 Tactical, and it puts out more than enough light for what you'd need to illuminate with a pistol like this. You'll notice both of those pistols have lights on them. If this is a pistol that you're going to be doing any kind of night patrol, or maybe dropping off a bank deposit after dark or something, it's really nice to have a light on there in case, for whatever reason, you have to point it at somebody. it's nice to be able to identify what it is that you're pointing it at. Moving on to number 2 on our list, we have
a semi-automatic rifle in caliber .556.
That's right, a semi-automatic rifle in caliber .556. Preferably, although not 100% necessary, have it be something on an AR-based platform. If it's not an AR-15 or some variant thereof, I really encourage you to pick something that takes a Stenag pattern magazine. That could come in handy if you ever found yourself in a situation where blue helmets were parachuting out of the sky and you needed to pick up magazines quick, fast, and in a hurry. If you're using something like a Mini 14 or something that takes a different magazine profile, you're going to find yourself having to empty magazines to reload the ones that you have, and depending on how much time you have to do it, that could be a huge issue. You'll also notice I have this Crimson Trace rig angled foregrip light mounted here on the front of this weapon. Again, this is the kind of rifle that you might need to engage in some social work with, and I can't emphasize enough the importance of having a light mounted on the front of it. And while, especially for those of you that are new to the firearms world, looking at something like this might be a little intimidating, I can tell you that with a little effort, you could get your 70-year-old grandmother running one of these things. They are easy to shoot, and they are easy to learn to shoot, given just a little bit of training, and I would encourage something like that to go into everybody's kit. So moving on to number 3 on our list, we have
a 12-gauge shotgun.
That's right. Number 3 on our list is the 12-gauge shotgun, preferably a pump-styled shotgun like this one, either an older Remington 870 or any one of the Mossberg 500, 590, or Maverick 88s would do nice. This is a really old Mossberg 500. I've had it for several years. I'll show you here on the side of it. You'll notice we have a light mounted on this one also. I can't overemphasize enough, if it's something that you're going to be using for security or tactical or social type work, you need to have a way to identify what it is you're shooting at. And a lot of times those kind of things happen at night. All right. This particular one is chambered in 12 gauge. If you practice with it a little bit, almost anybody could handle a 12 gauge shotgun okay. If you have small framed or elderly or fragile people on your detail that might be using it, you might want to aim for something more like a 20 gauge, but realistically, one like this, just about anybody can handle. So moving on to number 4 on our list, we have
a hunting rifle.
Any particular one?
A big one.
A big one. I like the way you think. Moving on to number 4 on our list, we have the hunting rifle, the high-powered rifle. I don't even really like that term, but it is what it is. This, folks, is a plain Jane, bare bones, Savage Model 110 chambered in the Lord's caliber, the 30-06. Does it have to be a 30-06? No, it doesn't. Although I would encourage you, if you're going out to get a rifle so that you have one, get something that is common and readily available. A 30-06 or a 308 is probably the most ideal of the two, but realistically, a 270, even a 243, even that thing that those fellows with the crocheted pants shoot, the guy with the man bun, what was it? Was it 6.5 Creedmoor?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he looked funny, huh? Yeah, so you could even get a 6.5 Creedmoor, but get something that you could go to Walmart, you could go to a gas station out in the boonies, you could go to your neighborhood hardware store, whatever it may be, and find ammunition for it. I do recommend a 30-06. While you could certainly make do and take just about any animal in North America with your AR-15 if you were ambitious enough to do so, realistically, you should have access to a hunting rifle. And you might say, well, Jay, I've never hunted anything in my life. Well, circumstances could change to the point of where you might decide you wanted to try to. So it doesn't hurt to have a hunting rifle available. And as I mentioned before, not everybody in the group has to have one, but you should have one available to your group. Now, if I have learned anything from the kids on Tiki Talk in the last couple of years, that is every good top 5 list has to have an honorable mention. Rue, what's our honorable mention on this one?
A .22 caliber rifle.
Yes, that's right, folks. The 22 caliber rifle, like this Ruger 1022 that we have here in front of us, is a good, nice to have addition to our top 5 list. I know some of you out there are already going crazy saying a 22 is the ultimate survival rifle. You're not wrong about the utility of the 22 rifle, but I can tell you, if it came down to either having a hunting rifle that I could kill anything with or a 22 rifle to take squirrels with, I'd take the hunting rifle all day, any day. A 22 caliber rifle like this one right here has a nearly endless list of uses. They're easy to shoot for just about anybody in your group. You can shoot them all day long for just a few dollars. They're an excellent marksman training tool for training your new shooters and people who are unfamiliar with firearms on how to operate one. There's really only one good reason why this isn't on our top 5 list, and that is that to this point, all of the firearms that we've listed are important to the continuation of operations in the event that something bad should happen to disrupt society as we know it. I wouldn't want to do perimeter patrols with a 22 caliber rifle. I wouldn't want to carry a 22 caliber rifle in place of a 9mm handgun. I wouldn't want to go hunting for game to feed a family with a 22. And I wouldn't want to use a 22 in place of a 12 gauge for home defense. So while it certainly has a utility aspect, it didn't quite make the cut for the top 5 list. And the reason why is because number 5 on our list
is a BB gun.
It's a BB gun. An air rifle.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who made this list, me or you?
You.
Oh. Yep, that's right. That's right. Number 5 on our list is a simple Crossman pump to suit air gun. Now, while I don't want to do anything to violate their terms of service, you pump the front of this one a few times depending on what it is you're going to be doing with it. If you're hunting for squirrels or trying to keep a possum out of the chicken coop or whatever it may be, you'll pump it up 7 or 8 times. If you're trying to get the neighbor's dog out of your garden, you're going to pump it maybe 2 or 3 times. But for what it is, an air rifle will do just about anything that 22 caliber rifle will do, only it does it cheaper and it does it quieter.
Be very, very quiet.
And that really is how the air rifle bumped the 22 out of the number 5 position on our list. And that is, there's sometimes you need to take a shot at something without letting everybody know about it. You can do that with a BB gun. It's really pretty hard to get away with it with a 22. So that's it. That's the list that I had for you here today. Understand, I realize that there's going to be some of you that have problems with some of the stuff that's on the list. I'm going to open up the comment section down below now. Feel free, have at it. Let me know what you think. Until next time, take care. God bless.
Dad, do I need to read the rest of that up there? Do I need to read the rest of that?
You're horrible.